Welcome to Get Me Recruited's Inside Coach's Corner with Stephen Boone. Today we have Coach James Black from the Juice All-Stars.
Hello everyone, I'm Stephen Boone and I'm the Director of Scouting for GetMeRecruited.com, and I'm here with the legendary Coach James Black from the Juice All-Stars. How you doing today, Coach Black?
How you doing?
I'm doing great. We brought you here today for Inside Coach's Corner for GetMeRecruited.com, and I wanted to ask you a few questions to get to know you a little better. So, Coach Black, where are you from originally, and what brought you to Raleigh?
I'm originally from South Jamaica, Queens, New York City. Came down here with my friend, also with my cousin Darryl Showtown Hill, who played at St. John's University. His mother had moved down here about like 6 years ago, and after Darryl's senior year at St. John's, we came down here to train him and prepare him to go overseas and play professional basketball.
Okay. Judging by looks, you're a pretty young guy. So, what age and how young were you when you got started in coaching?
I'm 34 now. I got started when I was about 16, 17. It was a group of kids in my neighborhood that wanted to play in this local tournament, but it was like some AAU teams and other teams already had it. They was running this tournament inside of PS48 Park. They're back in Queens. So I had took my summer youth check, and I had bought some T-shirts and got the kids in the tournament, and we just started participating. We started beating on some of the AAU teams that was in the local area, and then I had to go back to school. And then every summer when I came home, I just started doing that locally, just for fun, to give some of the kids in my neighborhood something to do.
Okay, and while you were coaching at such a young age, did you also play basketball as well for school?
Yeah, I was at Franklin K. Lane High School, which I stayed there 4 years. I didn't qualify my SATs to go to college, so I went. But the prep school situation back there wasn't that big, and my grandmother was like going for that. She basically wanted me to go ahead and finish out school. So what I did was I knew a couple of coaches, and they had this course in Job Corps in the South Bronx that help you prepare for the SATs and retake it and get your scores up right. And as I did that, I played on the Job Corps teams. They played against the other Job Corps centers, and there was a coach there that had gave me the opportunity to get into Marist College.
Okay, so you had some goals growing up to wanting to play college basketball. So with that being said, who was a major influence on you during your career, maybe while playing or during your coaching career, even now?
From playing, it was a woman by the name of Kim Walters and Rachel Holmes at it used to be when I was in junior high school. It was a program like called the Junior Knicks at the YMCA, and I used to always participate in the Junior Knicks program. And Miss Rachel Holmes and Kim like just tucked me underneath their wing and kept me involved with the program to like try to stray away from the guys I used to hang out with in my community. I grew up in a rough neighborhood, and I hung out with some guys that I shouldn't have been hanging out with at the time, but I was young and didn't know any better, and they steered me in that direction to join the Junior Knicks program, which I started traveling all around the city and playing in different events, and that's when I went on to the AAU circuit.
That's great to know. Now, what players did you have? What big time players did you have a chance to coach in the past that are now probably big name prospects now that people in basketball can remember?
To me, it starts from before I got to the big time players. It was players like from my neighborhood that actually got me my first step into coaching AAU. Was kids like a kid by the name of Chris Hampton, who's at Norfolk College right now. Also had a young man by the name of Ryan Pearson, who's at he was player of the year at George Mason, and now he's overseas in his second year playing pro ball. Those are my three kids that got me noticed and started. One more, Isaiah Morton, um, which is at Marist College right now. So those are 4 kids that actually put me on the AAUC. And then as we started growing, um, Pastor Omar Morton, which is Tiny Morton's first cousin, um, gave me at Lincoln High School. He's also the director of Juice All Stars, which gave me my first chance to hit the AAU circuit real big. But before I got to Tiny, I was with a guy who was like a mentor to me, and I learned a lot from him by the name of Cat Keys, who coached the New York City Panthers. And he had like Sylvan Lansburn, Malik Booth, great players like that in the organization. But I just stayed locally in the 5 boroughs of New York, and we was playing like an ISA, Gaucho's Round Ball Classic, Citywide, Riverside Tournament, UDC, playing in Gun Hill, Roy Wilkins, even Rucker, the EDC Entertainment Classic, which we won the championship in that. And then that's when Pastor Omar took me over with Tiny, and I had a great run with him.
After talking with you over the past couple of years that I've known you, you're a very mature coach. So I wanted to ask you this: what did you learn from those players that you coached in the past?
To be honest, I'm stuck sometimes when, like in that past, because a lot of the kids that I had the opportunity to coach, they were hungry. You know what I mean? It was just different. Like, they just wanted to win and compete, and it's like a little different because I was blessed to coach Lance Stevenson, play for the Indiana Pacers right now at a young age, and I was fortunate to where being with Tiny as many years, I have built different relationships with people on the AAU circuit. So I built a good relationship with a guy by the name of Artie Jones, which is the uncle of Michael Beasley. So Michael Beasley should come back and forth and play with us in New York in ISA, and also a young man by the name of Chris Braswell that went on to play for Charlotte.
Right.
So I was always able to get a hold of those type of kids and players, and it was more passionate, more hungry. It was like it was different. The competition level was unbelievable back then.
Now, with that being said, you can now coach a program called the Showtime Juice All Stars. What do you want that program to be represented as, or known as, rather when people hear the name or they see it?
Well, now when I moved here 6 years, I've been here 6 years now. I started Showtime All Stars to honor my friend, cousin down at Showtime after he got injured. He had a career-ending injury, which he never really recovered from. And so I wanted to do something to honor his name. So I started the Showtime All Stars, which we went all over like the country competing and playing in the best of the best tournaments. But recently, I always kept in contact with Tiny because even when I was here, I would take players like Karan Johnson, Latrell McCoy, Christian Cabango, and Justin Lima back and forth up the top to New York to play in ISA with them. And also, we traveled to Vegas and went out there and did a couple of things with them. But I always knew deep down inside, like, the Juice was my thing. The Juice also. That's something I worked hard with for many years with them. And, Tiny, that financial backing to help the kids, but we're not sponsored at Showtime also. It's a nonprofit organization, so we do fundraisers and parents play fees, and to help Tiny come in and help out with uniforms and sneakers for them and hotels, and putting them on the underarm circuit to play in those type of events helps the parents save money financially too, and help me to be able to travel and get them to the tournaments they need to get showcased at.
Okay. Now, I've been to a few of your practices in the past, and I see that you discipline your guys and you teach them a lot of things that people may not know about. And so, for the people's question is, what do you teach your players on and off the court for the ones that do not know?
You got to be accountable for everything. You got to be accountable for everything you do. You got to be responsible. You can't blame nobody for anything. You got to be accountable for your schoolwork. You got to be accountable for being at practice. You got to be accountable for the things you put on the social networks, the Facebooks, the Twitters, and the Instagrams. And and I try to show them some of the mistakes that I made. I have an open book with them. I let them involve with my life. This is what I should have, could have, and what's the results of what happened because I didn't do things the right way. And I showed them the repercussions and the backlashes of things that happened. And they had learned experience from I had academic situations, and when he got his academic stuff together, he was so far behind. He had to go to JUCO and then had to go to a Division II college, and now his path is going overseas to try to provide for his family and hopefully come back into the States to go to the NBA. So I try to show them all of that.
And that's a great thing that you teach these kids because a lot of them need to know what accountability is and the meaning of it because it's very imperative, especially in the life as an adult. So with you being down here for a few years, coming from New York, tell us what, in your point of view, what is the difference between North Carolina high school hoops and New York hoops?
To be honest, since being here now, it's a lot of talent in North Carolina.
Okay.
It's a lot, and I think if you look at how these rankings and all that stuff, there's a lot of great players out here, and I think that New York City and North Carolina is like neck to neck. I really like being on both sides and seeing there's a lot of really good players out here. There's a lot back home as well, but some things that I've seen down here, certain kids down here don't get certain opportunities as others, and you have some kids down here that's really talented, but people be scared to take a chance at them, and a lot of people out here want to already name brand players and kids that's already Harry Giles or the Theo Pensons or the Stephen Woods. No one really is willing to take the time in the gym and really develop a kid. With me, I take a kid that nobody wants and develop them, and then my situation down here, some kids I had, like a kid like Rashard Allen Sebastian at Nightdale. I had him when he was in 7th, 8th grade. He blows up, and you have everyone coming after him.
Right.
And then you get into the CP3s, the Team Feltons, and this. I teach my kids to value certain things, like just because someone's offering you some sneakers and some gear doesn't mean it's always good for you.
Right.
Who's gonna actually stay in the gym with you and develop you and work with you and get you to that level that you need to get to? And that's why I see a lot of the teams down here, they neck to neck and arguing and fighting over players. It's just different. Back in New York City, it was spread. You had a lot of great programs and a lot of different talent. And it's like down here, everyone's just fighting each other.
And one thing you try to do is stay out of the riffraff.
Yeah, I mean, I don't really have those problems because I'm more of to myself. But I take a lot of backlash of being from New York City and coaching Juice All-Stars, and also had assistant coach for S. Carter Elite underneath Kamani Young when we won the 2006 national championship, Division I national championship. I was really young when I accomplished that, so I have a lot of people that down here jealous of my past and things that I accomplished, and I get attacked a lot.
How old were you then, if you don't mind me asking?
How old was I? It was 2006. This is what, 2013 now?
Yes.
So I'm 34 now, so that had to be about, what was I, what you think, 25, 26 around there? Had to be there around there?
Right around there.
Around there. And that was a great experience too. On that team, as got called Elite, we had Javon Kingston, who was at Villanova, Corey Edwards, who was at George Mason. We had a kid by the name of, we call him Air Jamaica. He went to Fordham and transferred to Texas State. We had a really pretty good, talented team.
Okay, so, I mean, the next couple of years, you probably plan on retiring and leaving the game. What do you want to accomplish before it's all over? What's one of your main goals? Or maybe even in life?
I really want to see, I say 34. I always said one time I turned 40, I didn't want to coach no more. I'd rather just train and continue mentoring kids and You know, even some of my peers been trying to talk me into maybe like coaching at a school. Um, right now, I'm open. I'm not fully decided of what I really want to do. But then, you know, I love the game, so I can't put no time on it. You know, to say, well, I'm gonna stop at this age or that age. I mean, I like working with kids and helping developing them, and you know, just being honest with them. Like all of y'all are not going to the NBA. All of y'all is not going overseas or to the D League or different type of leagues it is. But you better take advantage of this basketball where it can put you in a situation you get a free education and then you get your college degree and go out there and get you a good job.
Gotcha. Now, you know, real quick, I have one more question for you. Who's a player that you think that everyone should target from your team right now if they have not been paying attention to this guy? Who do you think that we should keep our eyes on and get me recruited?
I got a couple. You know, I got a couple. Of course, you know the most popular one right now would be Damian Hodge Jr.
Right. You know about him.
I like Tremaine Lawrence, who's at Capital Christian right now. I like let's see, the big fella I got, Michael Pippen. I think he's a project. I got another kid that's a two-sport player, actually two kids, by the name of Colleague Lewis and Ridge Ford, which I think both of them right now have colleges knocking on their door and offering them as sophomores in high school football scholarships. And I have some kids like I'm really interested in seeing how they're gonna turn. I have a kid that's in a ninth grade named Dondre Johnson. I'm anxious to see how his development grow. But I think the kid who may be the best player out my program who gets overlooked all the time at my young age group is going to be the kid Aaron Cash.
Aaron Cash?
Yeah.
Okay, I know about that kid.
Yeah, he's the
Prospect on the rise.
he's the kid that reminds me of like when he reminds me of like the Ryan Pearson, like the kid who does the tangibles, like block shots, rebound, don't say nothing, fundamentally sound, and just work hard. You know, my older team, I have another kid by the name of Joe McCoy. It's at Capital Christian, and I also have
Okay.
a point guard by the name of Roger Ray and Jalen Gaddy at News.
Okay. That's a good group right there. Well, everyone, you just heard the interview between Stephen Boone and James Black on GetMeRecruited.com, Coach's Corner. Tune in next time for the next interview of Coach's Corner.